Hello and welcome to this tutorial of SlideScope. In this particular tutorial, we are going to discuss about creating interactive dashboards using Tableau 2019. Now, what is interactive dashboards? Let me show you an example here. So, those of you who are familiar with Tableau or who use Tableau for analysis or who are learning Tableau, you have to create this type of dashboards and you have to provide some filters. Like you can see, here are some filters. You can choose any particular company name. Let's choose Germany, and you can see that our data is now changing as per the value of filter. If you will choose United States of America, then financial data will change. So this particular financial data we have got from Microsoft website. There are some sample data sets in Microsoft or Power BI users. So we have got the data from that website and we are using it on Tableau. This data shows information about any particular organization where they have some sales. You can see the sales amount, you can see the gross sales, you can see the sale price. Manufacturing, you can see the name of product. You can also see the country where these particular items have been sold. Month number, you can see the date, you can see how much how much profit they receive. Sales are made segment wise, right? So you have some segments here, you have countries here, you have products here, you have discount band, units sold, and everything. Right? So what we have to do is we have to create such interactive dashboard. Now let's start creating something like this, and let's see how we can do this. So now we are in our Tableau file selection section. The this particular file which we have got from our website of Microsoft for Power BI. So this particular data set is in Excel format. So whenever data is in Excel format, you can simply select the Microsoft Excel. This is the free version of Tableau. If you have a paid version of Tableau, if you have a higher subscription, then you will see different data sources option here. But in the free version, data selection options are limited. We can select Microsoft Excel file, and here is the financial sample data set. I will share the information about this data set also, if you want to, if you want this data set, you can contact us. Now, once this data is fetched in Tableau, you can see the sheet, you can see segment, you can see country, you can see product, discount band, unit sold, manufacturing price, sale price, gross sale, and everything is there, right? So now you can see some symbols over here also. When your data is loaded, you can see some symbols also. Yes, symbol कुछ represent करते हैं. These symbol represent something, and these symbols represent that this data, this segment thing, this is a string. You can see ABC written over there, right? So we have discussed about data types when we were studying Python and other languages. So data types are of various, there are various data types that depend, like string is there, integer values are there, floats are there. So this ABC represents string data. Now you can see a symbol here also, and it is representing a geospatial value, or you can simply say geographical value. That's why we have, it's a symbol of Earth. They are representing Earth. And when data is in numbers, right? Numbers can be float and numbers can be integers. You can see this data is in floating point, and floating point numbers is in decimals, and this data is whole number. Right? 3 is a whole number, but 1618.50 is not a whole number. It is in decimals. So in these data, you will see this hash sign, right? So this is how Tableau helps you in recognizing various types of data. Now, once your data is loaded, all you have to do is simply click on sheet, right? Click on sheet. Now this is your work area. Here you can see that those values which were not numeric values, not numeric, these are in this dimensions section. Although here represents something numeric, but here is in dimension section because here have forward slashes or hyphens in them. That's why year is represented in dimension section. Then in all the data that we had in all that data that we had in numbers format is now shown here. Right? Now you can see that some generated values are also there. Tableau has generated something for us, and these values are latitude and longitude. So from the name of this column country, they have generated the longitude and latitude for us. Now what we have to do is we have to drag something from this dimension section to our sheet, right? So first drag the measure names. This is a generated field first of all. ये जो measure names है ये generate किया जाता है, ठीक है? ये हमारे data set में by default नहीं होता है. It is not by default in the data set. It is generated. We have some students who have requested to speak in Hindi also, so that's why I'm using Hindi words also in between. So those of you who are not familiar with Hindi words, you can simply ignore that. So we have to drag this measure names in the column section, right? What are these measure names? Means from this data set, Tableau has measured something, that how many sales are there, how many records are there, and things like that. Now from the measure values section, simply drag measure values and drag it in rows. So now whatever value we have in the measures section, the sum of all values, that is the sum of all values, means add them, add all values in these rows, sum these values, right? And what is the sum? And it is represented in the form of graph. That sales, this is sales, this is profit, that is 1,68,93,702, right? So what is gross sales, what is COGS, what discount we give, it's 92 lakh 5,248. So whatever is whatever some values are there, we can see that. Now what we have to do is click show me, and in this show me section you have to select this first graph, right? Remember the dashboard that we were seeing earlier in this video. So in that dashboard you had these values in topmost section. Now you can see that this data is now in vertical format, but in our sheet it was in horizontal format. So to change this to horizontal format, all you have to do is drag this to columns, right? Because horizontals are what? Columns, right? Now you can see that this data is now shrink. This data is shrink to this screen, because in this section standard is chosen, right? What is fit width? Fit width. You have, this is fit width. Simply fit the data. It will adjust accordingly. Right? It will try to capture the 100% width. If you are familiar with something like HTML, then where you give a style is equal to 100%. So this is something like that. Now you can right click on these values, right? You can right click on these values and you can click on format. This will bring header, pane and things like that. So you can see grand totals, alignment, totals, shading. You will see these things. If you will click on A, then you can see that here are colors, pane values, header values. You can do something with these values, and you can try to change the name of colors, name of pens, and everything. So you can give them bold values. You can do something from here, and whatever. Now when I have selected in the header section, when I have selected green color, you can see that the record are now green. You can give bold also. You can increase the size also. If you will increase the size, you can increase the font size. So this is as per the requirement of the project. You can choose any particular text size. You can choose them whether you want them to be italic, bold, and of what color you want. So let's choose this green color, or we can choose this pink color also. So you can see now our data is looking prettier than before. Now what you have to do is, now this sheet is generated. So first of all we have to name this, right? So what is this? This is measure values versus measure dimension, right? So let's rename it to dimensions versus measures, or you can say this is the measured values. So measured names versus measured values. This data represent measured names versus measured values. These are measured names, and now you can see that the title is visible here. You can double click on this title also and simply highlight. Double click on the title also, simply highlight this. Right? I am showing it again. So when you will rename this, this name will be here. You can see, you can rename it to financial data or whatever you want to say, because we are going to, you know, draw some conclusions between profit and sales. So this is profit, this is sales. So we are going to draw two separate graphs, one of profit, one of sales, and we are going to merge three sheets together to form one dashboard. I will explain that later. What you have to do is, you have to simply click these measured values, double click this, and select the name, and after selecting the name you can make it bold, you can change the font, you can change the font size, whatever you want to do, apply. Now you can see that we have a bold value in title. This is the first part. Now get rid of this formatting section. I close this, and now we have to drag some filters here, right? We have to drag filters. So first filter that we are going to drag from this data is, let's say, product. So product is going to be our first filter. We want to see the profit and sales product wise. हमें हर प्रोडक्ट के लिए प्रॉफिट और सेल्स को अलग अलग देखना है, राइट? सो उसके लिए आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू ड्रैग द फिल्टर, you have to drag and create a filter. You can see filter is written here, right? Now what we have to do is simply click on this down arrow, and you have to click on show filter. Cancel. Control Z. You have to click on show filter, right? So some students are attending this class and they are doing this thing with me also. So I am helping them as well. Now you can see that all those all those product names are there. These are the name of products that are there in the data set. You can see Velo, VTT, Montana, and everything. Now what we have to do is, it is giving us these check boxes. From these check boxes we have to change this to drop down list, right? So to do that you have to click on this arrow here, and in this arrow simply click on single value drop down list. Now now just test it, right? So let's see, the profit is 28,14,104, right? So click on this and let's choose another product. Now the profit is increasing. So you can see that your dashboard is kind of changing according to your growth input, whatever values you are choosing. So this is called filter set tableau. Right? You are filtering data. We don't want everything. We want information about a particular product. So whenever you are doing business analysis, whenever you are doing financial analysis related to a business, sometimes you have to analyze complete data, but then you have to analyze data according to various filters, right? So this is our first filter. Another filter is going to be, now you have to do one more thing. Remember, only relevant values. If values are, if related values are there, suppose we don't have values related to any particular filter, because we are going to create a combination of filters, right? Because we'll drag country in consideration also, we'll drag segment in consideration also. So there might be some possibilities where data is not there. So what you have to do, third thing is, you have to choose single value drop down list. Second thing and third thing is only relevant value. Because single value drop down list and only relevant value. You have to select these two options, right? Single value drop down list, and from, we are not going to show all values, we are going to show only relevant values. Now we have selected what we have done so far. We dragged measure names in the column section, we dragged measured values in the rows section, right? Then we selected the first type of data. This is tabular data. This simply represents tabular data in form of rows and columns. After doing that, we have simply created one filter here, that is product. Now we are creating another filter. This is going to be, again click on show filter. So we are going to create country as a filter. Again, you can see that we have values in the form of checkboxes. So we are going to repeat the same two things here also. Simple click single value drop down list. And second thing you have to do is just click on only relevant values. So now the data in selection is Canada. Click all. So now you can choose country and you can see the sales and profit in any particular country. It is very important for business analysis. It is very important for whether you are getting profit from a particular country, whether you are getting loss from a particular country, what factors might be responsible for getting loss, what factors might be responsible for getting profit. If you are getting profit, so that you can repeat that thing in other countries also. So there are various type of things. Now this is our second type of filter, right? So we have dragged two filters, and now the last filter that we are going to include in our filter section is segment. Show filter. This is the segment. If you will look at this data set, you can see that segment is channel partners, government sector, small business, enterprise, mid market, right? So we have made some sales, but these sales are made in some segment, right? Maybe in government, maybe with channel partners, in mid market, to small business and everything. So this segment section here, we have dragged this also. Now this is our third filter. We have to do the same thing. Now I think now you have got the hold of it, how to do this, right? So you have to choose only relevant values, segment, and drop down. Remember, it is not necessary to give it drop down list, but if you will, let me, if you will enable single value list, this is going to be a single value list. This is also going to be a single value list. So now you will see that now you don't have space for any other filter. Yes, in case of drop down list, let me correct this. So we have reset the filter option. Now, what I was saying earlier is when you have something in this single value drop down list format, so you can have more number of filters here. That is the main point, right? Now, what is this? If you are familiar with SQL, right? So those of you who are familiar with SQL, this is simply select some. Let's say select some columns, comma, sum of discounts, sum of, and from table, from our data set, where segment is equal to something, and let's say country is equal to something, right? And product is equal to something. So if you will fill this segment, country, and product value, your SQL will also give you answer. So you can change this Excel sheet to SQL, and you can analyze like this data in your Excel also, in your SQL also. But Tableau is more interactive; it is more easy to do. You have to simply drag and drop things. Now this is our first sheet. Remember, we had three graphs. First was the data. Second was our data about sales. Third was data about profit. Or profit was on the upper half and sales was on the lower half. So if you can go back to the initial part of the video, you will see that. Now what we are doing here is simply we have to, because we have to make more than one sheet, you have to include these filters in those sheets also, right? So what you have to do is click on this drop button, this drop arrow, and apply to worksheet, and simply click all using this data sheet. So we don't want these filters to be seen in this particular sheet only. So what you have to do is click on filters, apply to worksheet, and simply all using this data segment, apply to worksheet, all using this data, right? So now what you will find is these, whenever you create a new sheet, whenever you are going to create a new sheet, you will find that these filters are already there. So if you are, I recommend people to see some previous videos. If you are using Tableau for the first time, I recommend you to view some previous basic videos related to Tableau which we have included in our channel. Our channel is Colorstack, that is powered by Slidescope, and you can see some basic videos related to Tableau. You can see videos related to Python, videos related to R, how to plot graphs in Python, how to plot graphs in R, and everything. But if you just want to use Tableau and you have some basic knowledge of Tableau, then only this video will be very helpful for you. Now let's create another sheet. Right? This sheet here is a blank sheet. Let's rename this and rename this to, let's say, sales data. Right? So in this sheet we are going to represent sales data. Again, double click on the name of sheet. Let's increase the font from 15 to 16. Let's make it bold. You can change. Let's say we are going to represent sales data in green, right? And we can apply. And this. Now, since it is going to be sales data, and how you will analyze sales data according to date. You have to analyze sales data according to date. So what we are going to consider here is we are going to consider monthly value. Right? We are going to consider months. We have to plot monthly sales, monthly sum of sales. Understanding that? In our data set, we have a column that represents month name, year, and so either you can do this or you can choose date. Now let me show you how you can use these things to show monthly sales data. Right? Now what you have to do is drag date in the column section. Now you can see in this data set, the data is of 2 years. We have some data from year 2013 and some data from 2014, right? So this data is of 2 years. Now, watch it. Watch this. You can see that those filters are automatically applied in this sheet also, right? Now, you have to do one thing. Again, drag date here. Again, drag date here. And now you can see that Tableau has automatically selected quarter. That means year by 4. Right? So it is now showing us value that third quarter in 2013, fourth quarter in 2013. Because for 2013 we have data of third and fourth quarter. It means after maybe August, September, October. So, but here you can see that we have data of all 4 quarters in 2014. But we don't want data on quarterly basis. We want if the requirement is of quarterly basis, then you will represent the graph in quarterly part. But if data is, we have to show month basis, right? To change this second same column to month. So this we drag date only. We have changed this to month, and Tableau was able to now create some values for us. So it has given that September, October, November, and December. We have data for September, October, November, and December in 2013, and for 2014 we have data of all the months. Now, what we have to do is we have to drag the sum of sales to our row set. So drag this to row set. Now, this is the linear plot, right? You are seeing a line graph here, which is representing data. We can understand something from it. But if we select, look at this. If after dragging this, if we select this from automatic to, let's say, bar, it will have bar graph. Yeah, so it will give you bar graph. If you will select area, it will give you area graph. And for this type of task, you can either choose bar graphs or area. That will represent the data in more meaningful way. Now let's choose bar here. We are going to choose bar, and the color is by default blue. For every bar, the color is by default blue. Or we can change the color also because we are representing sales in green. You can choose colors, and after choosing colors, you can choose green also. You can give them some borders also. To give them border, let's say we want to give them pink color borders. This is our data. Right. Suppose we want now we can see the values only when when we hover to any particular bar. What if we have to see the values in the graph itself, in the plot itself? What if we have to see the sum of sales in the plot itself? What we can do is first click on sales, right? Control, right? Press control, and now drag this to labels. You have to keep pressing the control button and drag this to labels. Let's try to do that once again. So with this, now we have finally got some success. So you have to keep control and you can drag it to labels. And now you can see that uh, this data is now representing sales order, right? Value of those sales order. So this is our first type of plot. Now from standard to fit width, because we have to fit the data with the 100% width, and this is our second sheet, right? This is representing sales data. On this axis we have date, on this axis we have sum of sales. Now all you have to do is, because now we want to plot year and month versus profit data also, click on this sheet and duplicate it. Click on this sheet and duplicate it. Again we have some sales here. This is the duplicate sheet, right? This is saying sales data 2, but this is not sales data 2. This is profit data. Right? This is year versus profit, or you can name it anything. You can give it more meaningful names. And let's remove this from here, because we want this data to be year versus sales. And let's remove sum of sales from here also, because we don't want sum of sales to be in the label section. Simply drag profit. So drag profit here. You can change the color of profit from green to, let's say, blue. We want to show profit in the blue section, and we want to show sales in the green section. And the right click, select the name, let's say make it blue, apply. Now your profit data is being represented in blue bars, and your sales data is being represented in this. Remember, you have to click on fit width. I am going to pause my video, and I'm going to help my students so that they can draw the same types of graph I am doing. I'm just going to pause it and I'll come back. So now we have to show the label of these profits also. So hit control, drag it to your label. Now it is might be in my case, in my computer control is not working, or if this case is also with you. You can do one more thing. Simply you have drag profit to your row section, again drag profit to the label section. So this is going to show you the sum of profit also. Now we have these three sheets ready. After creating these three sheets, the next task is to create the complete dashboard, the complete interactive dashboard that we were talking about. So to create the dashboard, here is new worksheet and here is new dashboard. So you have to click on new dashboard, right? So this dashboard will come. You can rename this dashboard to anything you want. Let's say financial analysis on sample data, sample sales data of a store, or you can say organization, store, or anything. Now this is your sheet, right? This is your dashboard. You can see the maximum device range is between 420 pixels to 560 pixels height. So let's increase the height from 560 to 800, and let's increase the width from this value to 1100 pixels. Now we have some sheet to work on. We have to increase the width, and the maximum size is also going to be of width of 100 1100 pixels, and height is going to be 860. That is the maximum. Now after doing this, after creating your layout, we have three sheets here. We have to drag these sheets one by one. First we have to drag the names sheet, where we have all the values. So we have dragged the names sheet here. And in the names sheet, you can see here you can see filter, right? And here you can see the name or measured value, right? Now you can also drag this to anywhere. You can drag this to, let's say here, select this complete filter section and you can drag this to here. Now you will have filter in the bottom section. You can drag this to select this filter. All filters should be selected. You can drag this to, let's say, here. So these filters will be here, and you can shrink it to, because in filters we have to simply select value. We don't have anything more in filter section, so you can make it more thinner. Now this is sales data. You can drag sales data here. So we have drag sales data, and you can see that it is showing us nice and pretty graph as per the selected values, and simply profit data to this section. You can drag this to increase the height of profit. At least make the height of this segment same. Currently it is not same. So by hit and trial, by adjusting, you will find something. Let's say this is our final graph, right? So now we have data of sales, now we have data of profit, and sales is represented in green graph, profit is represented in blue graph. Now, measured name and values are represented here. You can reduce this, increase the size also. This is reduced with that. So now we are good to go. Now all you have to do is simply click on this presentation mode. And once you will do that, now we are back with the same type of graph which we had in the while we were in the starting of this video. And I have segments here. We have channel partners. So for channel partners, we have this is profit and this is sales. For enterprise, now here we can see that for enterprise we have decent number of sales, but most cases profit is in negative. What is the meaning of negative profit? That your loss is there. We are not getting any gain from this. So enterprise segment is giving us some loss. Let's see government section. In government section we have good profit. In mid market, here we can see that a profit of 94,330 is there in June 2014. So we now see the pattern. We can see that in June we are getting a maximum profit. In June, also in October in 2013, all the sections have decent profit. Let's see Germany. So this is the data of Germany. So in Germany we have more profit in the October section. So you can analyze this data. You have to spend some time on this data, and you can draw some conclusions from it. You can see data product wise also. Let's say you have to now this product has been this product has been sold only two times, once in 2013 and once in 2014. Once means in November and in December. So this, because we selected show only relevant value, we are seeing only relevant value, right? Let's see this Pasio, whatever we call it. So this is data about Pasio that it was sold in October, it was sold in December 2013, and in 2014, February, August, September. So this is how you can create your interactive dashboards. You can save this data; it will be published to your Tableau profile, and if you want to make it public, and people will be able to use this on Tableau website and use these filters to filter the data. I hope you have understood how to create such type of graphs. You can include geographical graphs here also. You can include other types of graphs also. So geographical and other types of graphs, geospatial plots, geospatial and other types of plots. If you have make this graph. If you don't have the data set, you can download it from. You can simply search financial data using Power BI sample data set on Microsoft, or if you don't have the data set, you can contact us on slidescope.com. Slidescope.com is our website. You can contact us. You can give us the name of your. You can give us your email IDs. I will send you the data. So you can go to slidescope.com. If you want to learn Tableau in detail, then also you can contact us on slidescope.com. Mention in the subject. My email ID is info@slidescope.com. You can contact me on this email ID also. If you want to learn Tableau from scratch, if you want to learn Tableau online, you can contact me on this email ID also. Or if you have any suggestions, if you have any doubts, you can simply contact me anytime. Thanks for watching and have a good day.